Welcome to Free State Central News. My name is Tim Masemola. Today we are going to be talking to Vusi Tshabalala, the former mayor of Maluti-Apofu. Mr. Tshabalala, welcome to Free State Central News.
Good morning, Dr. Masemola.
We just came back from the policy conference of the African National Congress, and many people are saying a lot of things. Your views about the conference?
Well, we know in terms of the constitution of the African National Congress, it is a must that we must have the policy conference. Well, unfortunately, I was not part of the delegation to the National Policy Conference. I wouldn't want to contradict what has transpired. But in the view of what we have seen on media, we have noted that issues have been raised. And remember, this is just a platform where we create policies and recommend them to the National Conference of the ANC, where decisions is going to be taken.
Well, many people are saying they wanted the step-aside issue to be scrapped. And it has been said for quite some time now. What's your view on it?
Well, my view has been clear. I was part and parcel of the Provincial General Council that took place, I think, a week before the National Policy Conference in the Free State in Welkom. Part of my own view was to say we should definitely reject the step aside, and the base of my argument was that the manner in which the step aside has been implemented by the National Executive Committee is in question. The fact that the branches were not involved, and look, the supreme law of the country is the constitution of this country, and the constitution is very clear that when you are found guilty, I mean, at the end of the day, you must be proven by the courts of law that you are guilty. But in this instance, the manner in which we have aligned our own policy on the basis of a step aside, it does not talk to the constitution. That is a serious contradiction in terms of my understanding. That is why I was saying it has to go back, it has to follow processes.
Those who are outside politics, they feel that those who want the step aside resolution to be scrapped, they are maybe protecting their own allies within the party. What's your take on it?
My brother, if I may use a metaphor of a soccer, you know how much we love Bafana Bafana, and you know how much we as spectators criticize Bafana Bafana. But if you get into the ground, you will understand. In this instance, the ANC is us, members of the ANC, who understand and who see how certain things have been implemented. I mean, unfortunately now we are playing politics because we are so, into positions. We don't understand that the creation of the ANC, it was the movement to liberate our own people.
Do you think that the step-aside resolution is being used to victimize some of the comrades?
Very clear. And look, I've got evidence to that effect. But I don't want to play those politics. We know that the implementation of the step aside was not right, and the manner in which it was actually packed was not the way we have agreed in the last 2017 National Conference.
Yes. Let's come to you. We saw you are being appointed as the chief whip of the Free State legislature, and you also, when you came to office, you appointed a huge. Your staff was, people were saying you. There's a huge number of people there. Can you maybe explain to us what happened? And because we saw some of these people, maybe they stayed 3 months to 6 months without being paid.
Well, it's funny when how people always interpret things.
Okay.
And I always advise people that when you are not part of the team, I mean, you would not understand what is happening internally. There was nothing wrong happened at the level of the whipper of the ANC. All posts were advertised accordingly. All people who are working there have got fixed contract, and there are those arrangements that are done internally, and it is within the right of the ANC PEC to decide whether we still keep the same staff or not, and that is exactly what we did, and absolutely there was nothing wrong that happened. People went for interviews. People were appointed according to the interview, according to their merits, according to their qualification. So, unfortunately, we are doing these things not to build a country. Criticizing positively, it's something that I appreciate. But, to criticize on the basis of gossips, sometimes it doesn't even build this country.
Yes. Immediately after that, there came local government elections, and then we saw your suspension. Can you maybe give us a bit of background on that one?
Gossips every day, my brother. What can we say? Yes, of course, I was suspended by the African National Congress, the IPC of the Free State, and I aligned myself with the processes, and I've been quiet. I've been following due processes of the disciplinary hearing, and at the end of the day, I mean, it was within the rights of the provincial disciplinary committee to come up with a verdict. I mean, we also had our own witnesses, and fortunately the truth prevailed.
Did they have evidence? Maybe the ANC?
Well, I'm sure if they had a proper evidence, I would have been expelled in the ANC. Well, they did have their own witnesses. Unfortunately, the witnesses that they had to say what they know.
Okay. Going forward, many people will want to know what can we expect from you now? Are we still going to see Vusi Tshabalala participating as an activist like we used to see him? What's going to happen?
I always inform and tell people that if people would want to judge me as a mayor, as a member of the ANC in Maluta Pofun during my time from 2012 until 2018, they must check into the 2016 outcome of elections. We had 67.40%. We won the local elections during that time. And tell me today, where have we won 60.7% as an ANC? So that is another sign of showing if we were not working or we were definitely working. I still love the ANC, and I'm still fond of the ANC. And that is why I said to people, I will never move out of my own organization. I will, if I have to be expelled, let it be, but I would never go out of the African National Congress and decide any other thing out there.
I know people will want to hear this one. We've been hearing that Vusi is corrupt, but we only saw arrests are happening now. What are you saying? We've never heard you saying a word about it. You've been quiet about it. What are you saying about it?
Maybe these are the teachings that I got from the elders of the ANC, that you speak at the right time. There is a motto that says time, space, and tact. And I've aligned myself to that. When people speak things are not which don't have the truth in it, there's no need for me to respond to them. And today things are unfolding, and I'm still waiting for that time where we know today politics are orchestrated. We know cases are orchestrated so that we form part of the step aside. But at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. So what is happening in Maluta Pofung, I've long expected it, and I'm sure more is still going to come. And remember that when we run our municipalities, we run municipalities based on the legal frameworks. We don't run government with common sense. There are pieces of legislation in municipalities, Category B municipalities, Category A municipalities, and people should understand that. That's why in every local sphere of government, you'll always have seculars correcting this law. So let's follow that. We will always be on the right track.
Before I come to the question of the judiciary, I want to ask you this question. People are saying you are one of those that they seem not to be taking instructions from the present leadership of the ANC. You seem to be very defiant. What's your take on that?
I love the constitution of this country. What is enshrined in the constitution is the freedom of speech. People have a right to speak their minds. But at the end of the day, I am not that. Remember, I'm a servant of the movement. How will I want to lead tomorrow when I don't listen to leadership? It is their view. I don't know why. Maybe it's the hatred that we have as black people. But what I can tell you now is that I'm one person who respects the ANC. I'm one person who respects the leadership of the ANC, inclusive of the IPC, which was appointed. The IPC was not elected. The IPC was appointed to assist us to go to the national, provincial conferences and regional conferences. So I don't know why people will always want to make use of these utterances. But at the end of the day, I always keep cool and work hard to make sure that the ANC still liberates our people.
It's an open secret that you support the SG of the African National Congress. And he's also been accused on the asbestos case. And people are saying, if Ntate Tshabalala supports the SG, why can't he wait for the court of law to rule and then make everything public, unlike what is happening now? People feel like you are dividing the movement. What's your take on that?
I'll still repeat myself. I love the constitution of this country. People have a right to speak their mind. I also have the right to speak my mind. In terms of the constitution, I have a right of choice. I can't be dictated by anybody to support and not to support anyone. I've got my own reasons why I will forever support Jacob Zuma as the president of the ANC, who was there for us, and the premier and the chair of the province, Comrade Ace Magashule. And I don't know why people want to make it a fuss, because at the end of the day, everybody has a choice. Today we are supporting Pirates, we are supporting Kaizer Chief, and you go to Ntate Khoza and Ntate Kaizer, they are friends, very close to each other. But we've got people who then decide on both of them whom to support their teams. Should we be blaming why you're supporting Pirates? I'm supporting Comrade Ace Magashule. I worked with Comrade Magashule, and I can tell many people, and I'm still going to write a book, by the way, and I will express my views and my feelings of why I supported the two leaders of the ANC and the reason why today black people are suffering more. And I will explain it, because those two leaders, President Jacob Zuma and Comrade Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Ace Magashule, they are the people who wants to see black men becoming a person of a human person who will be respected by the world.
Do you think the previous administration of the Free State, they should be maybe held accountable for the asbestos case? And who should be held accountable?
Let's allow the agencies, the law, to take its course. This matter is now in the hands of the court of law, and it is within the right of Comrade Ace Magashule to go and testify. We are waiting for that moment, and this is where the truth will always prevail. And I can tell you today, as long as the court has not proven you guilty, we can't want to judge you. And that is what our people need to learn. Tomorrow I can tell you, if I leave this interview, you'll hear that, and I know this is what the people are planning, because they think now I want to become a leader of the province, therefore cases must be open, this and that. And are you saying immediately when the case is open, people should not talk to me, people should not support me, because there is this case? Because these things are orchestrated. We'll talk at the right time. We'll show the evidence to what we are saying. And people must understand we are not threatening the world. But this is what is happening today.
My next question will be, do you think that the judiciary is captured? If so, can you maybe provide examples to say that?
I will always refer you to the constitution of this country, because it's a supreme law that regulates, that governs everybody, including the very same judges, president judges and the judges of Concord. They can't be above the constitution. But what we have seen in today's politics, if I may talk politics, we always see that there are those who are aligned to certain leaders, and there is nothing wrong with that. The issue which will always make us to be suspicious is when they're not judging according to their independence, and this is where the question is. I mean, there are certain things that you see they have been said in court, and you can see these things are orchestrated out there, but the judges are entertaining more politics than the issues of law, and this is where you see it. So we'll come to that space at national conference. We want to talk about this matter, and in our own tradition or culture, we normally say there is no fire without smoke.
But there are those who are saying, let's track back, and maybe I know that you support former President Jacob Zuma, and they're saying during his tenure as the president, he won a lot of cases. There were cases against him even before he could become a president. At some point, he was the deputy of the president of the country. He was removed, and then he won the rape case. And then afterwards, there were a lot of postponement. Some of the cases were removed from the roll, and you were quiet. All of a sudden, there was a new president, and then he started to lose cases. Then you are saying he's been victimized. What's your take on that?
Stories have been said, my brother. And I can tell you today we end up not living our own lives, but living the life of their lies. And that's why I don't want to comment. What is the truth is that Jacob Zuma has been the president. He has been a good leader. And even we saw how Comrade Oscar Mabuyane commented to say that during the time of Zuma, Eastern Cape, in terms of service delivery, it was good. And these are leaders. These are provincial chairs. These are premiers. But somebody will come and say, no, but president did not do anything good. So I have never commented about the current president.
But do you think he was victimized?
No, definitely. We'll prove that. And that is why you have the last NPA boss who spoke out, without any fear or favor. He spoke up his mind about how this case of President Jacob Zuma was done. And we are still waiting for that time.
Okay. Let's come to the Free State. And the current state of politics in the Free State. People are saying the Free State is now like a child-headed family, whereby everybody can do as he wishes. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no. If I may comment politically, yes. I can tell you the center is not holding. The ANC is the center. Especially when you are leading government, you are expecting the ANC to be the center. It can't be a place where everybody does what she or he wishes.
For those who are not in politics like I do, you are saying the center is not holding. What do you mean?
I mean, there is no leadership, there is no political leadership that understands its role. And that is my view. The role of the political leadership, it's more than what we see. We can't have leaders who are petty in the ANC. We need leaders who confront issues. For an example, today, they speak unity in the Free State. How do you isolate Vusi Tshabalala from speaking unity? And you are saying you are dealing with unity, and you take your own friends and you speak unity outside those who are not agreeing with you. In the true sense of unity, you must also speak to those who differs with you politically. And we can't be judged on this one is supporting that one. Remember, in terms of the principle of the ANC, once the conferences are finished, we rally behind the current leadership elected. Yes. But now, because it's conferences, I have a right to go out and lobby. Nobody should stop me. And now this is a reoccurring disease that I see, a cancer from nowhere, where during the times of conferences, people are being told that they will be suspended, they're not supposed to meet this and that thing. It's happening in the Free State. It's a joke, and if I may put it, I mean, that's why we don't grow politically in the Free State. If I may say, in the province.
But somebody might say, people will forever refer to Polokwane conference to say this animosity started there, whereby when everybody came back, those who supported President Mbeki were sidelined, and those who supported President Zuma, they were given soft treatment and all that.
Maybe.
Then today you are starting to complain and say, no, we are approaching conferences, we should treat each other as comrades even after the conference. But it was there even before these conferences that are coming up.
Well, I don't know which people they are talking about. Maybe they must give us names of those people who were sidelined, and we should understand what is. I said to you, Mr. Masemola, when we started the interview, go and check the 2016 election outcome. How we won that, and who was leading that municipality at that time. In the ANC, we want people who work for the community and the society at large. We don't want people who speak too much, who speak Lenin and Marxist theories when people are hungry. People need They need bread on the table. People want to understand, when are we creating jobs? If I may talk about gear, and people don't understand gear, how gear started and how gear transformed our economy to where we are. And today people are saying gear has failed us. The gear concept or program did not fail us. It did not fail us. It's us leaders of the ANC who failed the economy of this country. Because today our own people are suffering. Our own people are not working, my brother. Look at this thing of EPW. Let me not call it this thing. It's very close to my heart. The EPWP concept. It's the brilliant concept. But look what is happening today. Go out there and see how councillors are using these people of EPWP to fight their own agendas. It is making people to be more hungrier than what they are getting every month. Is it 600? I'm not sure whether 750. And if you could understand how that EPWP program could make a difference in the lives of our people and change the GDP of our own township. And this is why I have a problem that we will never, I tell you today, we will never make the economy of this country in our own township to be there. People must begin to see that, at least during this time, rapila. But today, politics of today, it's about gossips. It's about this one is not aligned to that one. It's about that one is doing this. And I so wish one day people could just come and say, Klonkwana Luna Ima's account, who do you think you are? And because people have got this entitlement in the ANC, and that is wrong.
Even though you feel sidelined, have you ever approached some of them to say, I'm available to work for the ANC if you want to use me?
I'm not feeling sidelined. Believe you in me.
That's why I said, if you ever been...
I'm not feeling sidelined.
Okay.
If people don't talk to you, what
you don't talk to them.
What prescription you use in English? Maybe Mosotho.
Yeah.
Because if people don't approach you and they speak unity, and I'm one person who don't tell people how popular I am. I'm not popular. I'm just being one of those human beings who have been loved by the people of Qwaqwa, Harrismith and Kester. And should we fight for that? We can't. So what we need to do, remember when we were told in 1912 how the ANC was established, they will tell you it's a big elephant, it's a big broad church, it's got many brains, so where is that thing? I mean, today I can't fight somebody who actually is not from the school, but that person is loved by the community. But on that base, I must decide that no, this person cannot lead because he's not educated and so on. That's not the ANC we know.
Do you think that the ANC still uses the correct ways of electing leadership? Because you're also telling us about how the ANC used to be and now is no longer like that.
I wonder, my brother, thank you for that question. I wonder how many of us do we know through the eye of the needle by heart. We can only talk about it when it wants to suit a particular narrative of somebody. Through the eye of the needle, go and check it. We have said it must not be changed. If I remember in 2012 we spoke and we reaffirmed it as it is. And if I still remember, because I was still the delegate 2012 and 2017 NASREC, we reaffirmed the through the eye of a needle. That document speaks of what kind of a leader we want. But go and ask any leader of the ANC today, do we normally talk about it in our own discussions, meetings? We don't. Because we believe that the only way we can change the member, we want this one to have diploma, this one must have matric for him to become this leader of whatever. This is what we are speaking, and we are forgetting the document. That document, that policy, it's us who said we want a person who can go through the eye of a needle. So unfortunately, if I may say, politics are changing nowadays.
Some of the people within the ANC, they are saying you are ready to lead the province as the chairperson. What's your take on that? Are you ready?
Well, being ready is something else. It is within the rights of the branches of the ANC to speak their mind. And it's still within the rights of the supporters of the ANC to speak their mind. People who are not directly members of the ANC. And it is within the rights of ordinary comrades to speak about any leader they would want. And I know this thing is all over, and I can't stop it myself. I tried, and I tried, and people were saying to me, it's not about you. And let me tell you, when you are working as a collective, as a lobbying team, you speak one another, you speak, you plan who do you want to lead. And this discussion has never happened through our lobbying team, but it has happened outside, where ordinary branches and people are saying, we think you are ready. I don't know how ready am I, but when leaders and branches are speaking, I have to respect that discussion. But it does not have to break us. It does not have to make the ANC feel the way it is, and ours is to support and work for the ANC.
Vusi Tshabalala, come the provincial conference, are we going to see you contesting?
As long as the branches are saying I should, as long as I'm nominated by the branches of the ANC, definitely I will never disappoint branches. It is not about myself, it is about the members of the ANC and the branches.
Vusi Tshabalala, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.